humanist in our nation would say, you're going down there and destroying this really wonderful culture. They just have their own culture, and we're going in there with missionaries, and we're destroying their culture and everything. But yet, these people live under the control of demonic powers through this witchcraft and through fear. And see, the gospel goes in there and says, but God hasn't given you the spirit of fear. God is love, and perfect love casts out fear. And so as we take the good news that we don't have to live under the dominion of satanic forces to people who are trapped, that's why missionaries go. Now, let's think back. There's only been one nation in the history of the world that was ever built on Christian principles. Only one. That nation is the United States of America. And so, this is not where I really want to go with this, but when we have people saying, what we need is change. We need change. Please identify to me what kind of change you're talking about. Are you talking about moving away from the Christian culture that our founding fathers gave us, which established the Constitution of the United States, which is built on the Ten Commandments and the teachings of Jesus? Are you talking about moving into a socialistic economic system, a welfare type system, where people are no longer responsible for themselves? What kind of change are you talking about here? Change just for change's sake? Are you saying that you want to leave behind the thing that made America? Now, when we think about that, think about America. Never been another country built on scriptural principles other than Israel. Okay? And has there ever been, ever, in the history of the world, a nation with more prosperity than the United States of America? Has there ever been? No. Has there ever been a nation that has done more good for other nations than this one? No, never. After World War I, the great humanitarian Herbert Hoover organized this country and fed all of Europe that was destroyed by World War I. Europe would have died by the millions of starvation and disease had not Herbert Hoover marshaled the economics of the United States and sent food and things in to keep those people from dying. Same thing after World War II through the Marshall Plan. The United States once again rebuilt the nations of the world. Where did that strength come from? Where did that capability come from? It came from the wealth of this nation. Was there something special about the people of this nation? I mean, was it because they were white? Was it because they were mixed race? Was it because some were Eastern European, some were Western European? What was it about the United States? Because of the great natural resources we have. Do you understand the Belgian Congo is one of the richest countries in the world when it comes to natural resources? And yet they are one of the most poverty-stricken places, war-torn. Millions of people have died there in the last 5 years from the internal strife. It's not the natural resources. It was the culture that was built on the simple laws of doing to others as you would have them doing to you, and remember those 10 commandments and build a moral system, a value system based on God's truth. And this nation prospered because he promised he would. If you will obey my commandments, then all these blessings will come upon you and overtake you. And here we have, historically speaking, the results of that. Now, we're wanting to change. We're wanting to change from the most prosperous nation in the world. We're wanting to change from a nation of basically peace within. Since the Civil War, we have not had war within the confines of this country, other than the Indian wars that took place in the West. Okay, we're wanting to change our system of family. We're wanting to change all the different mores and folkways that made us the wealthiest, the most peaceful, the most blessed, the most, I think, is in a great extent, happiest nation on the face of the earth. Why? Why would we want to continue this downward trend that's taking us further and further away from the principles that made us? If we want to change, why wouldn't we want to change back? That's called revival. Why wouldn't we want to come back with a renewing of our spirit? Come back to the principles that made us great. Come back to the things that caused us to be the head and not the tail. You know, I think about Deuteronomy 28 and how it says there, you will loan to many, but you will not borrow. Now, as far as national and international affairs, that transfers into something that's known as the balance of trade. You shall loan to many, but you shall not borrow. See, up until World War II, the United States was what was called a creditor nation. The countries of the world owed us. Now, we have become a debtor nation. We owe the countries of the world. What's that mean? Well, it means that institutions belonging to the United States are now owned by people outside of this nation. And that goes to Deuteronomy 28, again, where it says, if you will not obey my commandments, then the foreigner among you will get higher and higher. The problem with that is you have people who do not share the Christian value system that made us great to begin with. And so you're getting all this. I'm not against immigration. Goodness, we're a nation of immigrants. Everybody here that's not American Indian, your ancestors got here by being an immigrant of some kind. Immigration isn't bad. It is immigration without assimilation. Immigration without the people that are coming in renouncing the culture that they left because they were poverty-stricken, there was war, there was inhumanity, there was sickness, there was disease, and bringing that culture here and causing that culture to override the culture that was built on Christianity. That's the problem. Now, Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. The question becomes one then, can you have ultimate truth without Jesus Christ? And it says in John 1, it says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And then you drop on down, it says, and the Word became flesh and dwelt amongst us. Jesus was the Word in operation. He is the Word. So, is it possible to have truth without the Bible? And the answer is no. It is the truth. People say, what is the truth? The Bible is the truth because it is God revealing himself to man. The Bible is the truth. So, what is the truth about sexual conduct? What is the truth about sexual conduct? What is going to make you as a person happy? What is going to make you as a person prosper in your relationship sexually? Do not commit adultery and do not commit fornication. Well, I don't like that. I want to fornicate and I want to be an adulterer. Well, then you're not going to prosper because it won't work. That's all. It just won't work. You're not going to be happy. You're not going to be fulfilled. You have to build on the foundation of truth. Okay? And then you get into those other commands. I think, well, I'm going to try to get ahead and I'm going to prosper. I'm going to be a thief. Now, you're not going to be happy about it. I was watching a little bit of Charles Stanley last night, and he was dealing with guilt. You can't be a thief and be free of guilt. You can't be a thief and be free of fear of getting caught. You cannot be a lawbreaker without having this stuff going on down inside you, which ultimately is going to create spiritual disease, which is ultimately going to culminate in physical disease. You can't do it. You can't violate. You say, I want to do what I want to do, and my mom and my dad, they're not going to tell me what to do, and I'm going to hit the road, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. Boy, is that ever stupid. The Bible